Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Bell & Ross BR01-97 SCI, the climb indicator. You can see this one of 999 piece PVD black stainless steel limited edition on our website. Purchase it there. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this watch clearly derives from Bell & Ross's breakthrough product, the 2005 Instrument Series watch. Well, this watch takes the same aesthetic of an aviation instrument transposed into a wristwatch format, and it's essentially as tall as it is wide. 46 millimeters from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, not including the crown. This watch sits on my 16 centimeter wrist quite securely and without any real overlap at the flanks, thanks to the fact that the watch is also 46 millimeters tall. Now, if you add the lugs to the equation, it does become 54.5 millimeters from lug to lug, but the lugs are so short and they thrust down so dramatically that you don't get the impression that it overhangs, rather seems to bend around the wrist. So even though my wrist is 16 centimeters and this watch is large on my wrist, I feel that the lower limit for style and security and a sense of proportion could be as low as 14 centimeters. Now the watch is reasonably thin. You can see the step of the bezel adds about another millimeter, but all told it's only 11.5 millimeters thick, so it is surprisingly compatible with tighter sleeves, dress cuffs, and really comes into its own with the sport jacket or blazer sleeve. One feature that I like immensely is the even and broad shape of the case. There are no hot spots or pressure points thanks to the wonderfully flat case back and the broad profile of the case. Another feature which I love is that the watch is very integrated in appearance. There's minimal gap, minimal daylight between strap end and the flank of the case, so it looks all of a piece when it's on the wrist. What I absolutely love is that the strap is full width. Too many watch brands pair an excessively narrow strap with a broad case, and the result can be a tendency to torque back and forth on the wrist. Bell & Ross has always done well with the instruments by having a custom natural vulcanized rubber strap cut specifically for the lug width. So not only does it look good, but it feels good and secure on the wrist. Now on the underside, it's also nicely relieved. These broad channels make it more flexible, but they also allow heat, sweat, grit, and moisture to escape your wrist on a hot day. You can also see the case back to good effect. 999 pieces limited edition, and although aviation inspired, 100-meter water resistant thanks to the screw-down crown. This is a very versatile timepiece. It's also paired with a wonderfully adjustable pin buckle. It fits the utilitarian character of the watch because as hot and cold vary, activity and inactivity take their toll. You can tighten, you can loosen the watch on the fly without any need to adjust a buckle. Now the dial itself recalls the original 2005 Instrument Series, but it takes a step forward. In 2012, Bell & Ross released its first series of 999 evolved instrument watches, which were more directly inspired by specialized instruments on aviation analog dashboards or flight decks. In 2013, a second flight of 3 watches issued in 999 pieces each was released, and this series featured more color on the dial. And you can see that color here takes the form of a power reserve scale. The watch has a base caliber ETA 2897, and the 2897 is essentially the thin automatic winding 2892, but with a power reserve added. So as I wind the watch manually or allow it to automatically wind itself on the wrist, you can see the power reserve scale advances from down to up. Now if you pull the crown out to its second position, overshot right there. If you pull the crown out to its second position, you gain access to a quick set for the jump date that allows you to rapidly correct should the watch run down or should you encounter an irregular length month. Naturally, because of the ETA base caliber, if you pull the crown to extremity, you do hack the balance, allowing precise synchronization to an inaccurate reference time. It is a wonderfully luminescent watch, meaning as legible as it is in broad daylight, it's even more so, arguably even easier to distinguish in low or no light. If you were to take one watch and give it the absolute crown as a watch, with legibility being the #1 criterion, it would come out to a dead heat between some sort of Panerai Luminor or Radiomir variant and the Bell & Ross instrument family of watches. It's that good. From a purely practical perspective, you get a watch that's legible with a power reserve, the jump date, the everyday complication, The versatility of being 100-meter water resistant in spite of being a pilot's watch, that degree of hermeticity is unusual for aviation-themed timepieces. This watch has a gorgeous, monotone, almost monolithic black PVD stainless steel aesthetic, so inasmuch as it can also fit underneath a dress cuff or a tight sleeve, it is a remarkably versatile timepiece. And again, if you wanted an iconic Bell & Ross, you can do no better than the Instrument series. The design philosophy, the design concept that really put them on the map. You can see this Bell & Ross BR01-97 SCI climb indicator and buy it on our website.